Hey everyone! So, this last month has been a bit of an eye opener for me, but the good news is I've done my research, I've got my receipts, and I'm finally comfortable with the War Within professions. So, I figured no better time than to share that on, and hopefully, if you had your mind blown by it too, I can save you a little bit of time doing your own research. Today's video is focusing on the actual profession systems rather than the professions themselves. I will have specific profession videos coming out soon though, don't worry. I'm using chapters today, so feel free to flip around, and I'm going to assume that you have basic knowledge of professions in RPGs today. If you don't, you should be able to keep up anyways. If you do have any questions or anything I haven't explained well to you, then pop it into the comments and I'll get back to you. Now, I've gathered as much information as I could in game and on beta. I've also watched plenty of videos. I've watched a lot of Manfius, Sansafor. I found them brilliant and really useful, and I've also referred to Wowhead to fill my gaps as well. So a lot of really great resources around for retail, which is fantastic. First of all then, looking at the basics. One major difference for the War Within and Dragonflight is that you can jump straight into the professions. There's no carryover, and each expansion professions are treated separately. You're still restricted to 2 primary professions. You can't mix and match professions through expansions or anything like that. So you can do the War Within tailoring and jewelry crafting, then go back and train Shadowlands tailoring and jewel crafting. However, you can't learn the War Within tailoring and jewel crafting and then go back and learn Shadowlands herbalism and mining. You learn your professions at a trainer in the new city, and once learned, the new professions are found in the micro menu. They've got their own little button, as shown on screen right now. So you've learnt your professions and you've got a few things to practice. So what do you do next? At first, things are going to look pretty normal and straightforward. Now, those who've watched me for a while know that I tend to level professions, working out what sells and what's profitable and just spamming those, rather than going for the fastest possible route. Here though, you do get a first craft bonus, so you'll want to craft everything that you learn once, and so you might as well do that when you get a skill point. It's around level 25 that things do get crazy. First things first, you've got secondary stats. So your secondary stats for crafting are concentration, resourcefulness, which gives you a chance to use fewer ingredients, multi-craft, which gives you a chance to craft an extra, crafting speed is exactly like it says on the tin, you craft faster, and finally, ingenuity. So concentration, which is the new inspiration. Concentration gives you the chance to craft something your profession skill isn't technically up to yet. So it's an upgraded version of an item. Now, some crafts that you do are just going to require it. It's not a case of overleveling your profession. Some things that you want to craft are always going to need this. Concentration is great because it's a finite resource that you can turn on when you need or want it. This also makes alts pretty strong, as they all have their own pool of concentration leveling. That actually takes you back though to the stat called ingenuity. This gives you a chance to refund your concentration cost after crafting. So how do you gain these stats? Well, concentration is just something that you just get. You have a finite pool of it. The other stats though, you can get from accessories that you're either going to craft yourself or buy, or by choosing specific profession talents. For ingenuity, you can also acquire specific finishing reagents that are going to increase this one for crafting. The next thing you're going to see when you reach level 25 is the talent point system. Here then, most importantly, you can't change your talents. I can see why this is the case, but I really wish it wasn't. The consoling factor is that you can eventually get all or most talents, but not at the start of an expansion. It's going to take you some real time to do so. I'm working on individual videos for professions, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but the talents are really important. They impact what you get from prospecting. They impact you crafting Dark Moon Fair trinkets and your efficiency at crafting them. They impact what recipes you learn. These are all really big super things, so you need to make sure that you go into your talent tree with a solid plan. Every time you do a first craft, you'll get a little knowledge thing, and it translates into a talent point. There's also going to be related profession quests that give you extra talent points too. If you're joining in late, there's going to be extra quests that help you catch up. Next is looking at how to keep your crafted items relevant. So the highest level crafted item is going to be item level 636 in phase 1. This is along the mythic track. You can craft your item that high using items you find in Mythic Plus dungeons. You won't get it the whole way, it'll be close to it in a range, and then you're going to need to have concentration to top it up. As time goes on, you may want to increase the item level of things that you've already crafted. Well, that is actually possible. It's called recrafting. You can either recraft an item for yourself, or someone can place an order for you to recraft an item for them. You'll see that being spammed in trade constantly, people looking for personal orders. Now, the last thing is embellishments. These are equip bonuses that can be attached to items of gear. So some items already have embellishments, and others you'll be able to add as optional reagents. If you're working with something that already has an embellishment on it, you can't add an extra one or change it. Each character can only have 2 embellished items at one time. As with everything, there's going to be a few that are recommended for you, some that are popular for everything, and some that nobody wants. So make sure you check which is which before you start crafting. The embellishments themselves, you get some from crafting, some you can buy, some you'll get from auction house. You'll get them in all kinds of different ways just while you're playing the game. The majority of them are tradable though. Now, this is basically everything for today. It's been a little bit of a crash course through the profession system and how it's been updated. My individual profession guides are going to start coming out this week, but as I said, I wanted to give a quick overview of the systems themselves before I start with those. It is a pretty complex system, but from a gold making point of view, it should be able to make it all the more rewarding to craft in the War Within. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please do take a moment to like and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. Thanks very much. Bye!